So I was scrolling, as you do, and I came across an account that does cool animal facts. And one of them, which is a part of the thing I'm going to talk about today, so I'm not going to get into it too much, but it reminded me of something from a movie. So I thought I'd start looking up cool nature things that have impacted creatures from movies. And like how things that like, oh, they seem scary because it's in a movie, but like that's real life. It exists. So the first one I came across was the alien from Alien.
That's not real.
With the, he's got that little mouth inside of his mouth.
Yep.
Can we get the opportunity to guess what animal we think it is?
Sure.
Okay.
So this is the main antagonist from Alien.
Yep.
This thing in Sigourney Weaver go at it.
Mm-hmm.
And it uses this little inside mouth as like just an additional...
It's a mouth, right?
Yeah.
It comes
It's got
out.
its own set of jaws and everything.
That looks like a wrench, so.
That does kind of look like a wrench.
It looks like a wrench after Ryan left it outside because he finished his project and walked away.
Yeah.
What
about right.
If you had to guess, what kind of animal
I'll
is
go
this
last.
influenced by?
I think chameleon?
Chameleon.
Chameleon are known for
I
their
can
teeth.
see that. The shape of the head.
Yeah.
I know
Or a fish.
it's a fish, and it's got like its mouth, and then it will open it, and it's like right inside of that. I think it's a shark that the mouth will like come
It's got a
out.
beak thing.
It's not that small.
I've seen that.
It fits the shape of the mouth better, but it basically does the same thing. That's my guess.
My turn. Moray eel.
Of all the guesses, Kyle is closest.
Nice.
Because it's moray eel.
I will say this. We did talk about this the other day, so you refreshed it. However, when we did our Jason project thing in like
Mhm.
4th or 5th grade, my entire report, which I think my mom had if the flood didn't take it, was on moray eels. So I'm relatively educated on them. And my
Interesting.
dad is the one that suggested it because he scuba dove. And he was like, "Oh, you got to do moray eels.
Oh, okay.
They're fun to mess with." That's what he would say.
Yeah.
So moray eels, they eat like smaller fish, and they'll eat them whole. So what they do is they'll bite down with their normal jaws, and then they don't want it to get away if they have to like open to re-bite again. So they have a second set of jaws that come up from its throat
Jeez.
and bite the thing that's in its mouth. Then they let go with the original jaws and pull it back with their jaws on tongue thing.
What's
And
that
Not to-
wishbone thing?
Not to mention their teeth are all angled backward,
inward facing.
so that when they
you
bite,
can't-
if you try and pull it, just makes it deeper.
Yeah.
And their teeth are loaded with bacteria
Mhm.
that, while they're not venomous or poisonous, if you got bit, you could be in serious trouble if you don't get it cleaned out
Hypodermic
fast.
needles.
Yeah, it's like
You don't
a,
get it
like a
cleaned out.
Komodo dragon
Needles.
or a python.
Yeah.
Next one.
I'll never
is-
forget the
Whoa.
eel that I saw in Hawaii this last time when
Oh, yeah.
when we were there, and seeing it in the coral, it was like coming out, and it was like a light purple with like what I would assume would be LED lights all over it.
That's cool.
It was unbelievable.
Interesting.
I don't actually know what kind it was.
Yeah, some kind of eel.
I would have loved to have filmed it.
The next one, also from Alien, is the face hugger. And this thing would attach to somebody. It like kind of goes in on their throat, and I don't know if it feeds off you or what, but then it's got a tail that it wraps around your neck so that you can't get it off.
Start sucking.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, suck it.
I think I've seen something like this before.
What animal you guys think?
I'm gonna get. Well, I have a combination guess. The suffocation tactic reminds me of like a python or boa constrictor, but like the shape of the animal
Mm-hmm.
reminds me of a horseshoe crab.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I don't think I could have stated my opinion any better than Ryan stated it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like that. It's also the.
Oh, no. I changed my mind.
Hmm.
That's an octopus.
Oh, that's a pretty good one.
Octopus.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Well, they grab things like that, and then you could see that like the center of the mass is where the beak is, where they eat, and they're trying to get it in there. I think it's an octopus.
That's a good one.
And I think if you say it's not, then you're wrong.
Well, everyone was right except for Kyle. It's a horseshoe crab.
That's how
James
they
Cameron right
eat
there.
people's faces.
That is part of the inspiration of
I don't like those
the
things.
face hugger.
No, you don't.
But not like its movie counterpart. Horseshoe crabs
That was
don't
the
really.
only time that you've said "f you" to me.
and now he's hurt.
And I
No
didn't-
one's
I didn't
listening.
realize-
So
This
funny.
thing is wrapped around my leg.
Yeah.
It's humping me.
we two of them.
Two of them.
we are-
I was the
okay.
menage a trois.
We're. I don't smoke. AJ gave me pneumonia. We were in 10,000 Islands, and we were filming an episode for 10,000 Islands, which is episode 2, I believe, of season 1 on History Channel. And we're out there, or is it the next week? It might be episode 3. I think it's 3.
It's like 6.
Okay,
No,
2's carp, 3's turkey.
he's right.
Yeah.
no.
It'd be
It,
4.
it'd be 3 or 4.
It'd be 4th.
Oh, it was 4 because then
I
5
think
was
Turk-
five
Turk-
was gator.
No, I think turkey was 4.
No, it was
Because it was
always hunting, then
buffalo?
fishing. Hunting, then fishing. Hunting,
Buffalo, then something.
fishing.
Then carp,
Yep.
Okay, and
then
then
turkey,
turkey, and then
and then
10,000.
10,000 islands.
okay.
So if you go watch the 4th episode of season 1 on the History Channel, you'll see this. And we even see horseshoe crabs at night. We're camping out on this beach, but then the water went out, so the sea-doos were like getting beached, which was fine because we knew it would come back in the morning. But we wanted them to be beached, like beached, so that they would quit getting crashed into all night long by the waves.
Mhm.
And while we're like in ankle/knee deep water,
Yeah.
because the waves going in and out,
And it's dark out
and it's pitch black. We're trying to
on
pull,
deserted islands.
we're trying to pull it in a deserted island. We are by ourselves, no one around for 20, 25 miles.
Probably.
And the only way off this rock is the sea-doos that are now beached and cannot be moved to the water again.
So no reason to mess with wildlife if you don't have to.
We're trying to get this up, and AJ's like, something's got me.
He's like yelling, like panic yelling, which is not something AJ does. And we're
He
like,
doesn't panic ever. So I don't remember, but we're trying to drag. I'm like, dude, you're fine. We got to get over it. And he goes, F you, look. And he points down, and I look, and there's 2 of those grabbed onto each other because they're mating, and they're like wrapped around his leg, and he's screaming. And I go, I'm so sorry, because I was just like, dude, you're fine. It's seaweed. Shut up. Let's go. He goes, F you. It's so funny. And then he points, and I go, He goes, yeah, it's a freaking alien.
It's with no light, lit up by the moonlight. You see these things.
Yeah, I don't blame
Terrifying.
him. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Pretty
People
funny.
get scared enough when it is seaweed, let alone something that's actually moving.
And
Something that
hooked
looks
on-
like an alien too.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing in the movie,
This inspired its shape.
who did? Who said
The
this?
horseshoe crab.
Who said that?
The people who made the movie.
Oh, you found that,
James
like you
Cameron?
found something. They're like, yeah,
Several different
horseshoe crab-
articles talk about different
Okay.
stuff like this.
because when my approach on all this stuff was like practical applications of like how the things feed
Mhm.
or kill something.
Okay,
The horseshoe crab ain't killing nothing.
sure.
no.
Therefore, they're wrong. But I misunderstood misunderstood whatever this is.
It's whatever
The
animal in
inspiration.
nature
Yeah.
inspired or influenced the creation of a movie monster.
That
It's like I said in the beginning.
Yeah, but I guess like inspired that, like when you play video games and you get to pick your weapon. I thought you were saying like this is their weapon, basically.
Oh,
Like that was
it could be appearance. It could be how they work, like the eel with its second mouth.
because
something
my
like
mind
that.
immediately went to like barnacles and things like that like stick to boats or people if they're
Mhm.
in Pirates of the Caribbean,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where my head went. But I was like, no, that's dumb. They don't kill anything, so
Yeah.
that's why I bailed. So
All right,
so it's your fault.
all right. The next one is the creature from the Predator.
Snake.
I was wondering what this was.
I've never seen the Predator,
I haven't either.
and that's
So
and
a
that's
movie
not.
with Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Yep.
and it sees using like thermal heat vision.
Yeah.
And then stalks this group of soldiers in a forest somewhere, like a rainforest. So
Yeah, maybe
let's-
you know what they should do is combine Alien and Predator. They could make 70 movies like that.
You know,
Probably.
you know what you should do
Show
is
off.
if you're having people guess what inspired a thing, you should show the thing.
In this case, you don't need to see the thing.
I get it.
I'm kind of steering you a little by only showing you the heat vision part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. You're refusing to take it though.
Did
so-
you hear my answer?
What'd you say?
Did you hear my answer?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
He said snake.
Yeah.
You get? Yeah, you didn't hear it. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know what that
Mine
was.
I was gonna
You
wait for
said-
them to guess.
Mine is a wild triticon.
Oh.
Our thermal scopes.
AJ, what you got?
Yeah, it'd have to be pythons. Anaconda.
All right.
My anaconda don't.
Anybody else? Anything else? No? Okay. It is, in fact, pit vipers, rattlesnakes.
I knew it.
They have, so they have their nostrils, and then next to or underneath them, they have these little dents on their faces that have heat-sensing nerves on them, and those are wired into the same part of the brain that the snake uses to see.
Wow.
So they not only can just regular see, but they can also kind of see heat.
Which
And
helps
that's
them.
how
Crazy.
Is that
that's how
bottom
they
of the pumpkin?
find. That's how they find prey.
That is a yeah.
That's actually
I
interesting.
wonder what the
Several
creature
different
would
kinds of
look
snake.
like if, imagine, like, this thing sees thermal. The moray eel has double jaws.
You put it all
A
together. Ian?
whale can hold its breath for 2 hours. What would the creature look like, and what capabilities would it have if it
We
could
should-
do everything?
We should ask Lionel.
It would look like Rob Schneider. You ever seen the movie The Animal?
Yes. Well, they combined animals in Jurassic World.
Oh, yeah.
A bunch of them.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's
Yeah.
why I took over.
All right, the next one is,
Jeez.
anybody ever seen the movie The Blob?
That was
No.
that was Jeff coming out preemie.
The movie The Blob came out in 1958, and then there was a
Dang.
remake in 1988. And
My
it
guess
was
is 89.
a large amorphous blob that would come into contact with people and then like
Eat them.
incorporate them into, it was like basically a giant amoeba that,
Did you just give it away?
Huh? No.
Is it amoeba?
No.
I didn't think so.
I have a guess.
that would that would incorporate people and terrorize, I think, Los Angeles, if I remember correctly.
Most likely. Especially then.
All right, what you got, AJ?
Mm.
I'm going to guess snail foam.
Snail foam. Okay.
I'm gonna guess something like it's an ocean animal, like a jellyfish. But I feel like there's another animal that I can't recall right now that it like doesn't take shape necessarily, but it can like around things.
Okay.
But I mean, I'll go with jellyfish just for the sake of
Well,
picking an animal.
it's obviously jellyfish, but the most scientific, accurate representation of this in nature, we have to go back to the horseshoe crab, because actually the blue blood in horseshoe crabs,
Blue blood in horseshoe crabs.
the blue blood in horseshoe crabs is used in the medical industry, and what it does is,
What does this have to do with the blob?
can I finish? The most accurate description scientifically is the blue blood of the horseshoe crab, which is extremely valuable in the medical industry. They use a portion of it, like one of the enzymes or components inside the blood, and they use it and put it on medical equipment. Okay? And what it will do is, if there's any bacteria or anything on the medical equipment, it will create a jelly blob around the bacteria.
Mm.
It won't kill it, but it'll let you know that it's there, and then you won't use those instruments. And they still use it today, and that's what that is.
And this is an and then.
Yeah.
And then
I thought it was a good lesson.
So the actual answer is slime
Fungus.
slime mold, which is a type of fungus, and it normally mold just kind of like it's there, it reproduces and then spreads as it goes. Slime mold
He knows because it's in his house.
they've used in different. It's in your parents' house. They use it.
It's not parents.
The picture that I have here is them putting down a representation of Tokyo, and then putting slime mold in one of the major, like where Tokyo is,
Sewage
or like
system?
the center points, and then putting different nodes in, and then the slime mold, as it expanded, found the closest between the 2 points.
Yep.
And then over time became more efficient at traveling between or making between the nodes. So you can see in the picture it gets more efficient between the nodes as it goes. So it's almost like, even though
Cancer.
it's just individual cells, they're working together to create a system that is the most efficient it could be.
But wasn't the bit that it was a representation of how the roads ended up looking from city to city?
Mhm. Yeah, they found the most efficient way, which ended up being what was the case.
What the mold also did.
Yeah. They also use mold like this to solve mazes, where they'll put the mold in at one point and it'll like branch out, and then as it finds towards the end, it like,
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah. So it's like all these different individual little cells working together. And this was the representation of what the blob could be if it was in real life. Like all this mold, if it just decides to come together and start eating people, then it's going to find the most efficient way. And
There was a phase in elementary school where we all made mazes. We made them.
That's
Like
funny.
drawing them.
like spent days making mazes.
That's funny.
I never did that.
And then someone solves your maze that you took 8 hours to draw in like 5 minutes. And it's like, whoa.
Thanks.
This isn't gonna make me any money.
Thought I was going to get rich off this.
Next,
So that's the blob. Next is the Sarlacc pit from Return of the
Return
Jedi.
of the Jedi.
jeez, that looks like
Lampreys.
no, it looks like the mouth of the alien in Men in Black 2. What's his name? The one that lives in the subway.
Oh,
Jeff.
Yep.
Yep. It does. Good call.
Oh, a worm.
What you doing down here, Jeff?
Yep.
I think it's a worm.
Yeah, Jeff was a worm.
I'm gonna go lamprey.
Lamprey. All right.
That's
Stealing Kyle's.
yeah, lamprey.
Lamprey. You said worm.
Originally, I said lamprey, and then I switched to worm.
Okay. It is a kind of worm. It's called the bobbit worm. And it works basically the exact same as the Sarlacc pit. It buries itself down in the sand at the bottom of the ocean. And then all that sticks out are these little antenna things that it has.
Oh, I've seen that.
People have theorized that that's used to like either attract fish because of the little movement, or they use that to feel the fish as they're coming through.
Yeah.
And then
Maybe both.
as the fish comes in, this thing comes out of the sand and eats the fish.
That's
Very
cool.
cool.
That
Yeah.
is neat.
Pretty neat.
Bobbit.
Nature's pretty sweet.
Dang, nature, you scary. All right, and then the last one is the
Fungus.
zombies from The Last of Us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Fungus.
Fungus
It is fungus. What I like is this fungus
is
was
real.
in a supplement that Kyle decided to take at one point. I was like, I feel like you're tempting fate, man. They just came out with a show. It was some mushroom supplement or something you had tried at one point, and I was like, reading the ingredients, I'm like, that's literally, they just made they made a zombie movie about that. So how this fungus works is it attacks, as of right now, only ants in, I think, somewhere in the Amazon.
Don't say as of right now.
Yeah, but the ants
You
ants
never
got
know.
like
They could evolve or
the ants in
adapt
the
or whatever.
Amazon got like 6-packs.
Yeah, yeah.
So this fungus
and gym
attacks ants
memberships.
and gets into their like central nervous system. Bugs don't have like just a brain; they have like these little nodes along their body that control everything. And these fungus take over just the nodes in the body,
Yep.
but not the one that like is responsible for its like habits and whatever else. So this fungus will basically drive the ant and make the ant do what it wants.
Really?
Meanwhile, the ant's like, why am I doing this? What's happening here? And it'll go back to the
Nest?
nest, and then infect other ants. So this
Dang.
ant has no control over its body anymore. And then the fungus's only goal is to infect other ants.
What movie was it that we saw where it was like, I want to say Cloverfield, but I don't think it was that. It was like a movie we saw 20 years ago,
Oh, okay.
and that lady walked up to the window and like slammed her head through the glass because she was
The
infected.
Happening with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
It
Yep.
was
2000,
Honestly,
2008.
honestly not a bad
That was
premise.
pretty good on time too.
Not a bad premise for a movie where like eventually we do enough to the plants that the plants not like decide, but start having this reaction where in an attempt to defend themselves start releasing this either chemical or something that causes people to basically go crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And like kind of not a bad premise, but the whole scene where Mark Wahlberg is sitting there and he's like, they figured out that it's the plants, and he's like, hey, we're hiding in this house. There is a house plant in here. I just want to let you know that I'm really sorry for whatever it was that we did to you that caused you.
Oh, yeah, he's talking. Yep.
Oh, this isn't a real plant.
That's very
I
funny.
remember that. M. Night Shyamalan.
yeah, very wild movie.
What did you guys think of The Village?
Awesome.
The Village.
I know,
It needs a rewatch for me.
Yeah,
That's odd because I was always the one who was like, well, that was good one time, but it was really good one time.
it was very good one time, but now once you know what's going to happen,
Yeah, it is a one and
kind of
done.
Yeah.
ruins it for you.
You were going to say something, Ryan.
I was gonna say something in reference to the bug being like it doesn't like basically ride the ant out until it's like body's dead and decaying, and then it kind of just
Symbiote.
Yep.
Yeah.
It doesn't know to like let it feed itself.
No, it's oh shoot, what's that word?
No, actually, the fungus started
Cordyceps?
Jenny Craig.
Normally, like parasites will just live off the thing, and usually the thing is kind of okay still. This is one of the things where it lives off of it, but then it like kills it.
Very
It's a
cool.
pretty cool topic.
I like it.
So watch out for fungus and don't let your dog shoot you.
Mm-hmm.